Hi, my name is Cheryl Lyn. I'm an Angels channel. I channel angels and spirit guides. And today I'd like to talk about what it's like to have a session with me and the angels. Um, I'm only talking about me. I don't know how other mediums and channels work. I'm a spirit assisted life coach. I do several different kinds of sessions. I do energy healing sessions. I do guided map sessions, which map is a healing modality that uses nature spirits, and I do destiny cards. But the sessions that I do most often with people is an angel therapy session. And so I'm going to talk about that today, and I'll talk about the others in a different video. So it's like regular psychotherapy session, but on steroids. um, if if we're on the phone or in Skype, you need to be in a place where you feel very comfortable and private. Sometimes it can get very emotional, and you need privacy. Um, so you should have something to take notes with. I record the session and I give you a copy of the recording, but you should write down the things that you want to remember. A session will usually last about an hour. It could be a bit shorter or a bit longer. I have had sessions, go a really long time with someone that I've been working with, and I know well, maybe as long as 3 hours, but the average length is an hour. So what happens is, first I will take a moment and I try to create a safe space to work within, which that really just involves putting up some energetic shields, just to make sure that I'm only hearing my angels and people that the angels approve of. And that takes some energy. I have to construct it and maintain it during the channeling session. I take a minute and I get myself clear as I can. Really what that means is that I'm taking all of my ego, my opinions, my judgments, my ideas, my beliefs, and all of those things are filters, and they can change the information. So it's really my job to take all of that and to put it aside, and to sort of disconnect myself from it, and not hold on to it, because I'm the messenger, and I need to get that information to come through as few filters as I can possibly manage. So I take a couple of deep breaths and I really think about that, and I kind of put it all in a little box and I put it to the side. And so then I'll take some deep breaths after that, and then I open the door. It feels like opening a door to connect to the angels and the spirit guides. And then I say, okay, I'm ready. And then you start with a question. Now we work with questions, because the angels have told me that help is only help if it's wanted. Otherwise, it's just interference in your journey. It's really about respecting people, to where they're at, what they're focused on. It wouldn't be any good if I started talking about something that you're not focused on, that isn't a problem for you right now, and I'm just bringing in more issues for you to worry about. So we start with questions, and asking a question is opening the door for us. It's asking for help, and so we know that it's help, because really the cornerstone of my work with the angels is about respect. Because the angels and the spirit guides already know you, because they're around you all the time, I don't have to spend a lot of time getting to know you or your issues. They know you, and so they can help me just kind of bypass all of that and jump right to the heart of things. And so they help me a lot. They'll tell me all kinds of things about your history, and what's going on, and the people in your life, and your past, and they'll even tell me like which words to use that'll have the most impact on you. I often use words I'm not really familiar with, and because they mean something to you, not because they mean something to me. And sometimes they'll be like, okay, this person you have to like be very gentle, and sometimes they're like, no, this person you gotta hit them with over the head with this information. You gotta speak with more force, and you gotta really. It's really about how you receive information and what works best for you. And they help me with that. They tell me all about that. I've spent a really long time developing a vocabulary with them, and it's not just made up of words. I see pictures, I hear music, I taste things, I smell things. I mean, they'll use my own memories. They'll show me a memory, and I have to figure out, are they talking about that specific event? Are they talking about how I felt about that event? Are they talking about, so I have to sort of take all of that information and translate it into usable information for you. And I really do have to concentrate. Uh, I've gotten better and better over the years. I've been doing this for years and years and years, but it takes a lot of concentration. So then the question really evolves into a conversation, and the angels will often just use the question like a jumping off point, and they will talk about what's underneath the question. Sometimes, the roots, and they'll dive down and they'll talk about healing that, and so it becomes a conversation. Really, it's pretty relaxed, and it's you get comfortable, and talk about wherever it goes. We just follow it. We just take the conversation wherever you need to go. And sometimes the angels will say, oh, they'll see where you could be helped with some energy healing. Maybe you have a blockage, or something that's stuck, or whatever, and they'll ask you. They'll say, well, we see someplace that maybe a little bit of energy healing could assist you with this that we're working on right now. And they'll ask you, do you want that? And if you say yes, then they use me as a conduit for that energy, and we'll do however long the angels want to do the energy healing for. It's up to them. And then we can, sometimes we'll just move on. Sometimes it goes on for a long time. Sometimes it just is very quick. If you ask a question that involves someone else, I have to ask their guidance team for permission to talk about them. Sometimes I get it, and sometimes I don't. And it doesn't matter how well-intended you are. It's not about that. It's about that person's privacy. And I have to get permission to talk about it. Now, most of the time, I do get full permission. Most of the time. But there are times when I don't. And I have to respect that person's privacy. I mean, you would want your privacy respected the same way. I mean, just because I can know something doesn't give me the right to talk about it. So I always do that. I always, and that's, again, that's not within my control. So that's a part of it, and it does involve other people. So because we work with questions, you need to have a list of questions prepared before the session begins. And one question may take a minute to answer, and one question may take up an entire hour. I usually talk pretty fast, trying to get out as much information as I can, but every single session is different, and I really don't have any way of knowing exactly how it's going to go. So you need to have several questions prepared, and because we may not get to them all, you want to put the most important ones at the top. A lot of things can happen during a session. I'm often surprised by new things that happen. They might give you an exercise to do. They could give you strategies for dealing with something. They may help you create a plan, or they just may talk to you about it and give you new perspectives and awarenesses. I mean, I see new things happen. So it's impossible to cover everything that could happen. I have on my website, I have a testimonial page, and people talk about some of the experiences that they have had. So if you're interested, you can go there. I'll put a link either in the description or in the comments. So it's important to understand though that they can give you information and guidance and advice, but it is your responsibility to use that. It isn't magic. I don't wave a magic wand and make everything better. It's your life to change and to make whatever you want it to be. And that's really the gift of this life, is that you're the architect of it. You're the author. And they really would never take that away from you, because that would strip you of your power, and they love you way too much to do that. So sometimes people like really want the angels to like wave a magic wand and just make things all better, and they're like, well, we'll help you to make it all better. We'll tell you what to do, and we'll point you in the right directions, and give you information. I mean, that's really respectful. They don't want to take charge of your life. They want to help you take charge of your life. So channeling is hard work. And the angels, their energy vibration is a lot higher than ours, and it runs through my body the whole time. So it's exhausting. And when a session is over, I'm usually sweaty, starving. I need a nap. And because I'm in a little bit of an altered state, I sometimes I don't always form good memories of the session. A lot of times I do, sometimes I don't. So if you want to talk about it later or ask me a question, sooner rather than later is good, because right after the session I'll remember it, but in a week I may not. So that's really basically what an angel therapy session is. If you're interested, let me know. I'd be happy to do one for you. Thanks for listening. Bye.